Mariusz Pudzianowski, a former professional boxer in his first big strongman event.
Well, experience does count for a lot in this level of competition, especially when the pressure is on. And it's on Pudzianowski at the moment. He really is enjoying himself here. He's been a real revelation.
Take your grip.
In second place after event one behind Savickas, and I think he would be surprised to see that Savickas only covered 68 metres. So, Pudzianowski trying to chase this massive distance by Phil Pfister of 94 metres. One of the most incredible things I've seen in World's Strongest Man in many years. Looking comfortable. He's not tall. He's got a tremendous background, though, of powerlifting and bodybuilding. And those immensely strong arms wrapped around this giant stone of Africa. Pudzianowski is going well, heading towards the chance to turn once again. Now, can he do it? He's certainly walked himself into second place so far. Can he go for first? The chase is on. Could he even become the first man to go over 100 metres? He's going to go past Phil Pfister. Incredible. Approaching 100. Absolutely magnificent. His first ever World's Strongest Man competition, and that is absolutely brilliant. He's still going. The whole crowd so impressed with this guy. Compact, but brilliantly strong. And he gave that not just 100%, but everything else as well. 110 metres. We come to the two smallest men in World's Strongest Man final this year. Rob Dixon from York, Mariusz Pudzianowski of Poland. They both weigh less than 20 stones. And when you consider some of the monsters taking part in this competition, that may well be a disadvantage. But they're two big muscle men, no doubt about that. Pudzianowski was the fastest man in the heats at 28 seconds, but that time has been beaten by Martin Muir. Look at this. A little touch on each step, and then he climbs to the next one. Rob Dixon about 4 steps behind at the moment. Now come on, Rob, you need good points here. Pudzianowski, look at his arms. They're about fit to explode. Magnificent, chasing Martin Muir's time at 27.9, just outside. Tremendous competition already. So here we go. Pudzianowski against Savickas. Lithuania against Poland. Well, these two guys, certainly not accomplished weightlifters, but incredibly strong.
Keep your feet straight,
Oh, Douglas Edmonds saying to both of them, when you make the overhead lift, keep your feet still. And Pudzianowski, in fact, had to lift twice. And he's on the move again. He doesn't understand what Dougie Edmonds is saying to him, and that is a big problem. He's actually had the bar above his head 7 times, but is only 5 to his credit at the moment. 6 now.
7.
Look at the size of that guy's shoulders and arms. It's head to head at 7 each.
8.
Now it's 8. Closing in on the leader, Phil Pfister. They're all level. Who's going to go ahead first? Pudzianowski is. Then Savickas. Can we see 10 for the first time this year? Yes, we can. The pole moves ahead. Savickas presses it out. Oh, that is incredible strength. And tremendous stamina too. Pudzianowski leading by a whisker. Can he take maximum points? Time has run out. The pole wins it, and Savickas in second place. That is great stuff from both men.
I am Jón Páll Sigmarsson from Iceland, and I have been traveling further than any other competitor to get here, so I must make every mile count.
I think that means he's quite pleased. This is by common consent, the hardest event in a hard competition. They call lorry loading the man killer. And Jón Páll is sprinting. Well, as you can see, the refinement of cruelty that was added to this event in the European heat in Holland is here again. Flour in the bags, very fine flour that gets into the competitors' breathing and can stop them dead in their tracks. And it's done just that to Doyle Kennedy. But not this man, Jón Páll Sigmarsson. This is going to be a very fast time. 1 minute, 31.7 seconds. Do you get the feeling he's moderately pleased with that performance?
And finally, Žydrūnas Savickas, who we just saw win the carry and drag from Lithuania.
He's a really young guy. We don't know a lot about him, but he's tall, he's heavy, he's got a great attitude. I'm sure he wants to take the championship home to Lithuania.
The gray and Baron Vandenberg from Holland in the blue.
Savickas is getting off to a tremendous start. He shows awesome overall body strength and athleticism.
Savickas is the first one to grab the chain, 660 pounds, and now the race is really on.
Savickas is showing tremendous foot speed here and a good body tilt. 23 years old, he's really surprising the rest of the field.
Žydrūnas Savickas, there you see Ken Brown coming into the picture. So right now it's Savickas and Brown. And remember, only one of these men will advance to the World Strongman Final. Ken Brown going with a lock finger technique, Bill. What do you think of that?
Anything to hold on.
And right now it's almost a dead heat. Savickas looks like he has a chain link. And at the whistle, Savickas gets one more pull in. Brown now faces Lithuania's Žydrūnas Savickas. And Laszlo Fekete has established a time to beat of 50.59. Fekete is known as the world's best, so the mark to shoot for may be that of Holland's Vandenberg, who was able to complete 4 stones successfully. And right off the bat, Bill, it looks like Lithuania's Žydrūnas Savickas has an early lead on Ken Brown, who is struggling a bit with the stones.
It seems the best strategy.
We've seen our share of serious injuries here. That is 275 pounds that Savickas just dropped on his chest. Bill, he is lucky to be walking.
It's amazing that he's
on the face of Ken Brown. Savickas is back at it. That is the stone that he dropped on his chest moments ago. He's trying to hoist it. He runs out of time, so Savickas survives a stone dropping, gets 2 up. Ken Brown, unfortunately, only able to hoist 1 stone up.
Okay,
is this the kind of
ready.
event that
Look up, please, look
your
up.
stripes quickly?
He sure can, especially if he's done his homework and worked on his grip in the gym.
And look at the stance of Žydrūnas Savickas. He's got quite a wide stance, Bill. Is that going to help him?
Well, Todd, he's trying to lower his body so that his shoulders are in line with the stress caused from the cars.
Žydrūnas Savickas has surpassed the time of Ken Brown, 18.34. He is going for distance. And he releases just over 32 seconds, 32.96 seconds to be exact, for Lithuania's Žydrūnas Savickas.
Great strongman lately. He's somebody to watch.
And our final athlete, this is Brian Shaw of America.
At 6'8", Brian's a former basketball player. As he fills out that frame, he's somebody that's going to dominate.
So the first object, 231 pounds. Those kegs, they've got to move 2 of them.
John off to a quick start in lane 2.
Brian Siders in lane number 1 having some issues there.
And Brian Shaw cost himself 3 or 4 seconds trying to set that barrel.
Onto the second keg, also 231 pounds, and Brian Siders continues to struggle with placement. John, the Canadian, in the middle lane there. Now onto the sacks. These weigh 275 pounds. And Kaz grip is always a problem here. And look at Brian Shaw, manhandles it.
He's comfortable with it. A good long stride. He's making up some ground and time.
So So it's American Brian Shaw in the black in the near lane. He is off to the biggest lead right now, and this is the final sack. This is 275 pounds, and this will be the time to beat if he can place it first.
Here's where fitness and conditioning is a question. He looks great.
53.73 seconds for the rookie from America.
Power right through the fingers.
The first finger weighs 440 pounds, and Shaw makes quick work of that. Both men now into the second finger, 495 pounds, and look at him go.
Sure takes a nice grip, Todd. I've never seen anybody handle the fingers like Brian Shaw is doing right now. This is really incredible. He's toying with it.
His fourth finger, 605 pounds. And the final one, this is 705 pounds.
God, he may lack experience, but he's walking right through the heaviest finger.
And he's done it, stopping the clock at 37.27 seconds, well ahead of his Canadian counterpart. Louis-Philippe Jean does get over the fourth finger of 605 pounds, but he has had enough. Brian Shaw, a tremendous performance, all five in 37.27 seconds. Well, that was textbook from the American. The big man from Colorado didn't have any difficulty getting through the fingers. For American Brian Shaw, this event will decide his fate in the driver's seat. So Brian Shaw on the right going head-to-head with the four-time World's Strongest Man champion, Mariusz Pudzianowski. Now, Mariusz doesn't need the victory here, Kaz, but he certainly looks like he's going all out.
That's what a champion usually does, Todd. I think he's using it for a workout and warm-up for the final.
Both men onto the fifth stone. That weighs 400 pounds. And Mariusz has done it in a very impressive time, certainly sending a message. All five stones, 21.95 seconds. He is the current leader. For Brian Shaw, a good time, 24.81 seconds. Currently in second, but will it hold up?
Tom Stoltman, the rookie from Great Britain, 22 years old, and younger brother to Luke Stoltman. Heat 1, near lane, Matthias Belshuk, middle lane, Tom Stoltman, and Calm Wolf in the far lane.
I really like this event, Brent, because it involves athleticism and raw power. Right now we're seeing the smooth transitions from these guys, but this is where power is necessary to fare well in this event.
And because you have different apparatuses, you can see a sudden change in momentum, and we're seeing it right now.
Colin Wolf at the top in lane 3, 6'4", 392 pounds. That big mass and power really helping him move this cart down the course.
Wolf indeed has the advantage in that far lane.
You see a couple different techniques here. Some guys are staying a little bit more vertically, snapping the chain. The best technique, I think, is what Colum's doing, putting tension on that chain and then timing his power with his body, his legs, his back, and those big biceps.
Final 10 seconds. If you're not going to cross the line at this point, get as much distance as you possibly can. And Colm Wolf from New Zealand, as the time runs out, he's able to pull it 7-point under. Up next against Stoltman of Great Britain. And again, Aaron, the total weight of these fingers, 1,714 pounds. The fingers must be flipped 180 degrees.
It's almost a hang clean movement to start to get the finger up vertically. Both of these competitors looking very good after their first 320-pound finger.
Belshuk, longtime veteran, has had a ton of success. He's got the early advantage, but Stoltman is right there.
Belshuk's only 6'1", so his arms aren't nearly as long. He got 4 fingers a year ago, and he looks to be on pace to do the same here this year.
Working their way to the final finger, which is a 375-pounder.
Kind of see that funky monkey bar technique to get that finger over as we see Stoltman in the near lane not having success.
So he is essentially checked out, and on goes Belshuk.
This is 375 pounds, swinging on those monkey bars, trying to get this finger over and just can't.
Heck of an effort by both competitors. Stoltman gets 3 fingers in 23.46 seconds.
Come on, Tom. Press!
European powerlifting champion Magnús Ver Magnússon, hoping to continue the Viking tradition by lifting this year's title. We all fear Magnús Ver Magnússon, the young lion from Iceland, against Britain's Gary Taylor, the physical training instructor from Wandsworth Prison. Welshman Gary Taylor really wants to make his mark for Britain, and he and Magnús Ver Magnússon from Iceland are really going at it.
Magnus is very fast and explosive, and if Gary just keeps with him, he's assured of a good time.
Very fast indeed.
He's running back very fast for the objects.
Now both have elected to go for the awkward ones this time. No trouble for the Icelander. Not for Gary. Well, this physical training instructor from Wandsworth Prison is surprising everybody, Jamie.
He's on the verge of causing a major upset if he can beat Magnus on his first event.
Well, clearly the Welshman being driven on by the Icelander here. It's still neck and neck, absolute dead heat so far. Number 5 for Magnus. Number 5 for Gary. This is the last object. Oh, the time's going to be very good indeed.
For Gary there.
54 seconds on the clock. Oh, Gary's dropped it. Magnus is holding 58. Great time for the Icelander. He's delighted.
I looked at that and I saw he was quite fast, but I have an advantage because I had to go last.
Yes.
So I could see the mistakes the other did. But this is one of my favorite events.
OD weighing 28.5 stones, 8 stones more than Magnus. Is that an advantage, Jamie?
It is an advantage, but OD doesn't seem to be using it. He's taught right. He's not getting down and driving like Magnus is. Magnus is showing great technique and keeping a straight line. OD's just nearly stood up. It looks whether he's protecting his back or not, I don't know.
But OD seems to have edged ahead. Well, the American must take advantage here as within sight of the line. No touch first. OD by a whisker. And the times are good. 59 seconds for Magnus. He's lying second. The combined time for OD is 53. He's gone top. Now, you feared this event. You said it wasn't your strongest. You haven't done badly.
Well, yeah, because I'm lighter than the other guys. So I have a disadvantage in this one.
How big a help was it to see OD neck and neck with you all the way?
It helped.
Yes, he's done it! A great performance, and Britain's Gary Taylor the first to congratulate this young man from Reykjavik, who's really beginning to impress. Magnús Ver Magnússon could win the title in the next 30 seconds. 5 seconds for the first stone.
And he's following in the footsteps of Jón Páll Sigmarsson from Iceland, who was undisputedly the king of these stones.
That's the third in only 14 seconds.
If Magnus gets this fifth stone, he's assured of the title. Nobody can catch him.
30 seconds on the clock.
Can he get his arms around it?
Any kind of finish with a fifth stone will win him the title. No, it's beyond him. He's the fastest at 4. It puts him at the second place. And what happens at number 5?
When you take the hours first, the fifth one is very heavy when it gets to that one. And take the skin off your arms.
So Mr. Chris Thornycroft-Smith, Senior Executive of DAF, the competition sponsors, hands the trophy and a cheque for £6,000 to Iceland's Magnús Ver Magnússon, the world's strongest man.
Billy Kazmaier, the national powerlifting champion. Hold left, there's Kazmaier. Breathing fire.
Yep, he needs to go over 35 feet to go into first place here.
Here's a dedicated guy, though. He works, what, 4 or 5 hours a day just working on his body?
He's training really hard. He's pulled his weight up about 50 pounds this last year.
He's backing down right now. He's got to get it going in the right direction.
That's a fine throw. Even though he stepped forward, it cost him a foot, but I think that's well ahead of the best throw so far.
36, 6.5 inches. That's the leader by far. So
gotta have it. Uh-oh, stand back. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got it.
Kazmaier easily muscled that. And now Don Reinhardt, I believe, is thinking he may... Now, Kazmaier's a young guy. He might have a little problem.
Yeah, he's above it. Look, he's starting up too high. No, he's making a big mistake. I don't care how big and how strong you are. If you don't stay low in this event at the first, you're out of luck. See, Doobie's got a lead. Yep. See, and he keeps trying to stand up. And it's much too early. He doesn't have the speed up enough on the tram. See, Doobie's got a lead on him. Now Kazmaier's greater strength is beginning to show up a little bit. Doobie's having some trouble.
Got up too high, it looks like. Far lane is Joe Doobie from Florida. Billy Kazmaier, now they're just about a dead heat right now.
Yeah, but they're both, the tram's moving too slow. They can't really bend into the weight properly and make it really go.
Rinehouse time was 24.39.
Not a good time.
Okay. Oxygen. One of the most demanding events in the...
Bill Kazmaier. Now, we've seen him in powerlifting, and if you want to see a face, watch this as he settles down to serious business.
Ken, Bill's very emotional about his lifting. He becomes very, very involved in what he's doing. He uses that sort of psychological preparation. Watch him go.
If he can't lift it, he'll eat that thing.
See, he's using that sideways technique to save the hamstring.
It's up. Damn it! Kazmaier angry.
We thought that the judge hadn't given him a down signal soon enough.
Bill Kazmaier lifting 346 pounds and not happy with the officiating.